Today's video we will discuss about the pathophysiology of tuberculosis. Last video we discussed about the causative agent, introduction, causative agent, prevention, and mode of transmissions of tuberculosis. So in this video we will discuss about the pathophysiology of tuberculosis. We already know that the tuberculosis is an infectious disease which occur due to the Mycobacterium tuberculosis or other microbacterium species. And if the tuberculosis occur in the lungs, that is called pulmonary tuberculosis, and if it is other than lungs, that is called extrapulmonary tuberculosis. So let's start the pathophysiology of tuberculosis. When the tubercular bacillus reaches or enter into the alveolar air sacs, when the tubercular bacilli are entered into or reaches into the alveolar air sacs of the lungs, where they invade and replicate within endosomes of alveolar macrophage, where the tuberculosis are invaded and replicated in alveolar air sacs or alveolar macrophage. When the macrophage identify the bacteria after they enter the bacilli in the alveolar air sacs, the macrophage identify the bacteria or Mycobacterium tuberculosis or tubercular bacilli as a foreign particles. Okay? These are the foreign particles which is identified by the macrophage, and it attempts to eliminate by phagocytosis. The macrophage try to eliminate the tubercular bacilli by phagocytosis. During this process, what happens? The bacterium is enveloped by macrophage. The bacterium, that is tubercular bacilli, is enveloped by the macrophage, and it is temporarily stored in a membrane-bound vesicles, that is called phagosomes. Okay. Membrane-bound vesicles is called phagosomes. Well, then the phagosomes, what happen? It is combined with the lysosomes to create the phagolysosomes, and the phagolysosomes is attempt in phagocytosomes. What happen? The cell attempt to use reactive oxygen species and acid to kill the bacterium. The phagolysosomes are try to kill the bacterium, but in case of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, what happen? They has thick and waxy mycolic acid capsule that protect it from toxic substance. They have one thick and waxy mycolic acid capsule which is protect them from the toxic substance, so that the phagolysosomes is the phagolysosomes is unable to kill or unable to eliminate the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and the Mycobacterium tuberculosis is able to reproduce inside the macrophage, and that is called primary infection. After the primary infections, not even the cell-mediated immune response is developed surrounding the site of infections, and the disruptions and control of bacilli result in the formations of gray-white granulomatous lesions in lungs called John Foccus. The gray-white infection are granulomatous lesions in the lungs are occurs, that is called John Foccus or primary lung lesions. And the John Foccus is contain tubercular bacilli, macrophage, and other immune cell. Due to this, the hypersensitivity reaction produced by the bacilli cause the John Foccus to undergo the necrosis. Due to this, due to the immune response or the other lesions, what happened? The joint focus is due to hypersensitivity reaction. The joint focus is undergoes the necrosis, and the bacilli which are present within the joint focus is drained or come out along with the lymph channel, and which is reached to the lymph node of the affected lungs and further form the granulomas. They form the granulomas, and the formation of granulomas when occurs, the both joint focus and granulomas are collectively or together called as Jones complex, so that the formations of Jones complex is occur. So what happened? Due to the inflammatory and immune response, due to the inflammatory and immune response, the Jones complex undergoes healing. So they are healing the infection due to the immune response or due to the inflammatory response. The infection are day by day becoming the cure. But this is in the normal process. But what happens when the body defense mechanisms is failed? If the one person's body's defense mechanisms is failed, or the defense mechanism are unable to work, the primary infections in the body's defense mechanism fails, what happens? The primary infections is develops to the secondary tuberculosis or progressive tuberculosis, and the clinical manifestation or sign and symptoms of tuberculosis will appear. That is about the pathophysiology of tuberculosis.